Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a man walk into a room, say absolutely nothing, and still somehow every woman turns her head to look at him? No flashy clothes, no over-the-top confidence, no cheesy pickup lines, just presence. What is it about this guy that makes him so irresistible? I'll give you a hint. It's not money, it's not looks, it's not even charm, it's something deeper, something powerful, something ancient. It's Stoicism. And today I'm going to show you why 99% of women fall for this type of man, and how you can become him, even if you've never been the ladies' man before. Stick around, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you see yourself, and how women see you, forever. Chapter 1. The Mystery of the Stoic Man. Let's start with this. Why is the Stoic man so attractive? Simple. Because in a world full of noise, he's the calm. Imagine this. A girl is at a party. There's loud music, drunk guys trying too hard to impress her. One's bragging about his crypto gains. Another is flexing his car keys like he's Batman. Then she sees him. He's in the corner, not saying much, just sipping his drink. Calm, grounded, present. He's not trying to impress anyone. And boom, he becomes the most interesting man in the room. Why? Because women are biologically wired to be drawn to men who are stable, men who don't get emotionally tossed around by every little thing, men who stay composed under pressure, men who lead with quiet confidence. That's exactly what Stoicism teaches you to be. It's not about being cold or emotionless. It's about emotional control. And when a man can master that, oh boy, he becomes a magnet. Chapter 2. The Stoic man doesn't chase, he attracts. Let's get something straight. The Stoic man doesn't chase women, he attracts them. He's like gravity, quiet, unseen, but completely irresistible. You see, most guys are out here doing mental gymnastics, trying to get a woman to like them. Oh, should I double text? Maybe I should wait 3 hours to reply. Should I post a gym selfie to look cool? Meanwhile, the Stoic man, he's chilling, reading Marcus Aurelius. He's focused on building his business, hitting the gym for discipline, not for Instagram likes, sleeping well, eating clean, growing. He's not playing games because he doesn't need to. And here's the plot twist. That's what makes her want him even more. There's nothing sexier to a woman than a man who is unavailable to drama, distraction, and desperation. He doesn't chase because he knows he's the prize. Chapter 3. Emotional mastery is pure masculine energy. Let's break this down. One of the biggest turn-offs for a woman is a man who loses control of his emotions. She says something small, and suddenly he's offended. He gets rejected, and he turns bitter. Plans get cancelled, and he throws a tantrum like someone just stole his lunch. That's not masculine. That's emotionally unstable. Now let's look at the Stoic man. His car breaks down. He breathes, assesses the situation, and calmly finds a solution. His girlfriend tests him with a little attitude. He smiles, doesn't react, keeps his cool. Life throws him a curveball. He adapts, adjusts, and moves forward. That level of control, that's magnetic, that's masculine, that's rare. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for a man who can handle life without crumbling. And Stoicism teaches you exactly how to be that man. Chapter 4. The Power of Silence. Let me say something that will shock some guys. You don't need to talk a lot to be attractive. Seriously. Silence, when used with confidence, is powerful. Most guys try to impress women with words. They overshare, overtalk, and overdo everything. But the Stoic man, he listens more than he speaks. When he talks, it's intentional. He's not afraid of silence because he's not uncomfortable with himself. Ever been around someone who's constantly talking because they can't stand quiet? Yeah, it's exhausting. But when a man is okay with silence, it shows that he's comfortable in his own skin. And when you're comfortable with yourself, others become comfortable around you, including women. Here's a fun example. You're on a date. The conversation slows. Most guys panic. Oh no, is she bored? What do I say next? But the stoic man just leans back, sips his coffee, and lets the silence sit. And you know what happens? She starts chasing the silence. She fills the gap. She becomes more invested, because his calmness feels like confidence. Silence isn't awkward when you're secure. It's powerful. Chapter 5. The Stoic doesn't react. He responds. Here's where most men go wrong. They're too reactive. Someone cuts them off in traffic. They lose it. Their girl doesn't text back for 30 minutes. They spiral. A friend jokes with them. They get offended. But the Stoic? He pauses, thinks, then responds. He doesn't let his emotions control him. He controls them. And that is sexy. Because when a woman sees that a man isn't easily shaken, she trusts him more. She feels safe with him. She respects him. That's the difference. Reacting is instinctive. Responding is intelligent. And intelligence combined with emotional stability, that's dangerous. In a good way. Chapter 6. The Man Who Has a Mission. Let me tell you something brutally honest. If you make a woman your entire purpose in life, she will lose interest. Not because she's mean. Not because she's selfish, but because she doesn't want to be your mission. She wants to join a man who already has one. The Stoic man knows this. He wakes up with goals. He has purpose, direction, vision. He's not floating through life like a leaf in the wind. He's walking with intention, like a lion in the wild. And women notice. You ever see a guy who seems like he's got somewhere to be, even if he's just going to get coffee? That energy, that drive, it's hot. Because it shows leadership. It shows strength. It shows he's going somewhere. And maybe, just maybe, she wants to come along. Chapter 7. Detachment is attractive. Here's the paradox. The less desperate you are for someone's attention, the more they want to give it to you. Crazy, right? But it's true. The Stoic man isn't emotionally dependent. He doesn't need someone to complete him. He's already whole. So when a woman sees that he wants her but doesn't need her, it's incredibly attractive. Think about it. Clinginess screams insecurity. Detachment whispers confidence. And that whisper is louder than any shout. A Stoic man can walk away if necessary, not because he's arrogant, but because he respects himself. And women? They feel that energy, and they fall for it hard. Chapter 8. Humor, but make it stoic. Now hold up. Being stoic doesn't mean being serious all the time. You can be calm and funny. You can be grounded and charming. The key is this. Your humor doesn't come from seeking approval. It comes from being naturally playful. The Stoic man might not be the class clown, but he drops a line so witty, so dry, so unexpected. It leaves her in stitches. He's got that James Bond sarcasm, mixed with Morgan Freeman wisdom, and just a pinch of Ryan Gosling mystery. He's not goofy. He's not trying hard. He's just present, clever, and comfortable with silence, until he breaks it with a smart joke that lands like a mic drop. And that balance of calm confidence plus unexpected humor, that's lethal. Chapter 9. The Man Who Listens Like a Monk. There's a strange thing that happens when a woman talks to a Stoic man. She feels heard. Now I know that might sound too simple, but trust me, it's not. Most guys are terrible listeners. They wait for their turn to talk, or they hear words, but don't actually process what's being said. The Stoic man, he listens with his eyes, not just his ears. He's fully present, not scrolling through his phone or mentally planning his next sentence. He's not listening to reply, he's listening to understand. And when a woman feels that kind of attention, that presence, she melts. Why? Because she's used to men interrupting her, fixing her, or ignoring her. But this man, he gives her the gift of attention without judgment, and that, my friend, is rare. It makes her feel safe, seen, and respected. And when a woman feels that way, she naturally opens up more, physically, emotionally, everything. So if you want to be the kind of man that women can't resist, start listening like a stoic monk with the patience of a mountain. Chapter 10. Unshakable Standards. Here's where things get real. Most men bend their standards just to get a woman to like them. She's flaky, they tolerate it. She's disrespectful, they make excuses. She's emotionally toxic, they hold on, hoping she'll change. But the stoic man, nah, he's not desperate. He has standards, boundaries, a code he lives by. If someone violates that code, whether it's a friend, a stranger, or a beautiful woman, he doesn't freak out. He simply walks away, because he values his peace more than anyone's presence. That kind of self-respect, it's wildly attractive. Women may test him, challenge him, even flirt with crossing his lines, but when they see he won't fold, that's when they realize, whoa, he's different. And that different is what pulls her in deeper than any pickup line ever could. Chapter 11. He doesn't brag, he lets his life speak. The stoic man is a man of substance, not show. He's not the loudest in the room. He's not flexing watches, cars, or bank statements. He's not on social media posting shirtless photos captioned with fake deep quotes. He just lives, he grows, he gets better, quietly. And somehow, that quiet confidence, it speaks louder than any brag ever could. Let me give you a little visual. You're at the gym. One guy's grunting like a gorilla, recording his biceps on his phone. The other guy's just putting in reps, focused, not saying a word. Guess which one women are watching? Exactly. You don't have to talk about your value. If you're truly valuable, she'll notice it without you saying a thing. Your presence becomes your resume. Your discipline becomes your reputation. Your results become your voice. That's Stoicism in motion. Chapter 12. The man who is comfortable being alone. You know what's truly powerful? A man who enjoys his own company. The stoic man doesn't need constant validation. He doesn't fear being alone. He doesn't cling to people out of loneliness. He fills his own cup. He knows that peace isn't found in another person. It's found within. So whether he's at a party or hiking alone in nature, he's content. He's whole. And that kind of energy, it's rare. Because let's be honest, most people can't sit in silence with themselves for more than 10 minutes without grabbing their phone. But this guy, he can sit by a river for hours, lost in thought, and come back stronger, calmer, wiser. And women can feel that when they're around him. They sense the calm. They admire the independence. They crave the groundedness. Because deep down, they want to be with someone who isn't needy. They want to be chosen, not depended on. Chapter 13. The man who doesn't break. During conflict, let's talk about pressure. Every relationship, every interaction, at some point, tension will rise. There'll be arguments, misunderstandings, conflict. Now imagine this scenario. She's emotional, she's yelling, she's throwing curveballs your way, testing your limits. Most guys, they crumble, they yell back or retreat or get passive-aggressive. But the stoic man, he stays calm. He hears her without absorbing her chaos. He responds, not reacts. He doesn't raise his voice to prove a point. He stays level to hold the frame. That's what it means to be emotionally composed. He's not shaken by mood swings. He doesn't take things personally. He understands that staying calm is not weakness, it's power. And in moments like these, Women don't just fall in love, they respect the man behind the calm. Because when a man can hold his center during the storm, he becomes the anchor she never knew she needed. Chapter 14. He values his time like a king. Let's get brutally honest here. Time is the most valuable thing you have. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose stuff and replace it. But time, once it's gone, it's gone. The Stoic man knows this. That's why he protects his time like it's sacred. He doesn't waste it chasing women who aren't interested. He doesn't give it to people who drain his energy. He doesn't scroll endlessly or procrastinate on his purpose. He treats his time like a king guards his crown. So when he gives his time to a woman, it means something. It's not an accident, it's a choice. And when she realizes that he's not giving her time out of boredom or loneliness, but because she's earned it, it makes her value him even more. Because women don't want a man who gives himself away easily. They want a man whose time is earned, not assumed. Chapter 15. Stoicism plus masculinity. Irresistible. Let's wrap it all together. The Stoic man isn't perfect. He's not the loudest, richest, or most charming guy in the room, but he is something else. He's consistent, he's calm, he's disciplined, he's focused, he's balanced, and most of all, he's in control of himself. In a world full of chaos, emotion, and impulsive people, he becomes the rare one. And that rarity, that's what 99% of women fall for. Not because of what he says or does, but because of who he is. He's the man who doesn't need approval to feel valuable. He's the man who can walk away from anything that doesn't align with his peace. He's the man who makes a woman feel safe, seen, and inspired, without ever raising his voice. He's the man who lives by Stoic principles. So if you're tired of games, of being ignored, of wondering what to say or how to act, stop chasing. Start building yourself. Start reading, training, growing, breathing, pausing, listening. Start being grounded, calm, detached, focused. Become the kind of man who doesn't need validation because he validates himself. And soon, you'll realize that women don't fall for the flash. They fall for the fire that burns quietly inside the man who needs nothing but attracts everything. You want to be that man? Then it's time to embrace Stoicism, not just as a philosophy, but as a way of life. Stay grounded, stay calm, and as always, be the storm that doesn't make a sound.